Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, it's Samurai Champloo. Champloo. I love it.
Shampoo.
I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Welcome to Thursday the 23rd of February, where we're doing the anime Samurai Champloo.
That's right. It's a Man Globe production that's just funny to say. And then, let's see, the director of Cowboy Bebop, and he also did a couple of the Animatrix shorts. Shinichiro Watanabe. I can say that part. He's the director. And this is a great show. Right off the heels of Cowboy Bebop. Well, you know, kind of. There was a couple year gap, but he got Steve Blum to come back in it. Steve Blum plays Mugen.
Right,
Samurai Champloo follows Jean, Mugen, and Fu. And basically, Fu is the girl. She's kind of this cutesy, like, stand-in, but she also is very integral to helping them out and whatever sometimes. But she's kind of like this, orphan working for a noodle house. And
noodles, don't noodles. Sorry.
The current emperor, well, it's not emperor, but the lord of the town or whatever. His son comes in, starts making trouble, and she gets in trouble. But Mugen is there. Mugen comes in, and he basically says he sees that there's trouble going on, so he's like, "Hey, so 50 dumplings?" And she's like, "What?" He's like, 50 dumplings, take care of all those guys. And she's like, well, I'm not going to pay you. What are you talking about? Or whatever. And then something happens, and she yells out, 100 dumplings! And so he's like, your lives aren't worth shit, are they? 100 dumplings. Whatever. So he goes kick-assery, whatever. Meanwhile, Jean, he's a very reserved samurai. And I guess I should mention that Mugen is kind of the wild child. He doesn't fight according to, like samurai rule. He's not a samurai. He's just kind of a whatever. He
Hooligan.
uses a whole bunch of different moves, and he's kind of like he's from like a rogue, group of people living out on the outskirts. Anyway, Jean is the opposite. He's a polar opposite. He's a very collected samurai. He's a very good swordsman, but he's very precise. He's got his moves down, everything. He runs into the kid's father, who is the lord of the town or whatever.
Lord
and
yeah.
No. Although there is some dancing and some music in this, which is
good.
interesting. They do a hip-hop flavor. Anyway, so Jean, excuse me.
Jean burp.
The Lord is basically, there's a serf, like, trying to give him money, and, like, please, I'm sorry. I forget what he did, but he's like, I'm sorry, please take this money and, and let me, live, basically. And the guy's like, you insult me by giving me your pocket change? It's probably, like, all he has in his life, whatever. So Jean steps in. He actually takes the money, which is funny. He takes the money that the peasant was going to give, but he basically kills all the bodyguards. His badassery, and easy for him. He is wearing one of those cool samurai hats with a little, view in the brim.
Yeah.
Like the little thing that slats in the brim you can see through. And so he throws it up in the air and dispatches all of them. And the last one, he dispatches a spray of blood, comes toward him, and the hat comes down and takes the blood, and so he doesn't even get blood on him. He's just so uber cool and whatever.
Awesome.
So he and Mugen were, they're like 1 against 5, so both of these guys are really badass. Jean ends up coming to the noodle house once Mugen is finished dispatching these guys, and runs into Mugen, and Mugen basically is like, has heard that there are these badass bodyguards, and those are the ones that Jean killed, the samurai killed. And so Mugen's like, okay, well, you killed them, so I'm going to kill you because, they're definitely out for a good battle. They're not motivated by too much else, really. So they kind of have at it for a little while, and it's really cool to see the different styles. And in fact, Jean complains, like, your moves, like, you were the worst fighter, you were the most undisciplined fighter I've ever, but I can't kill you. Like, so Mugen has this, he's basically doing like breakdancing kind of like fighting. He's just everything.
Oh, what is that called? The Jamaican style? Do you remember?
I don't know. But he wears those traditional shoes with the wood and then the 2 wood feet down.
Yeah.
But they have metal on the bottom, so he uses them to catch swords and stuff like that. So he uses all parts of his body. Jean is definitely focused on his katana. So anyway, so Fu, basically the noodle house burns down. This is all in the first episode. So Fu, the girl, she now is jobless and homeless, and she's already an orphan. So she decides that she's going to try to find the samurai who smells like flowers, and there's definitely something to do with that.
And this is where the Samurai Champloo comes in.
Yeah, because that's what he rinses with is sunflower shampoo. No, it's Champloo, and so she decides she's going to seek this guy out, and that Mugen and Jean are perfect bodyguards, like counters, partners in crime, because well, not crime, but because they can pool their efforts together, and obviously they're good protectors, and yada yada yada. So right away, you get a sense of who these characters are. You understand why they're together, and then they're grudging. They're that thing where, yeah, I'll work with you because I promised the chick, but I want to kill you, and eventually we're gonna have a fallout fight, and one of us gonna die. So there's always that kind of tension. But
like Dinobot and Optimus Primal.
Okay, and they get captured by the Lord, and they're going to be put to death, but Fu kind of comes to the rescue, although they didn't really need that much help. They were pretty much taking care of business themselves. But while they're in prison, they're making fun of each other. You're a horrible fighter, you can't fight. And it's like, yeah, well, whatever. It's really fun. Steve Bloom, as I mentioned, he does the voice of Mugen. I don't know who does Jean, but it's top-notch voice acting.
Right. Good voice acting. Good.
The second episode introduces a very interesting character. I mean, there's a character at the beginning who gets his arm lopped off, and he's kind of a running thing through it. But you get a very different story, very different characters, very dynamic characters, and it continues from episode to episode. Is a completely new, fun element injected. I mean, at one time there's a guy from Holland, which is really interesting. Like, it's weird because that episode is all about it's about homosexual love or whatever, but it's interesting because there's a Christian thing in there as well, because I don't want to spoil it, but there's little symbols, because this is during the feudal period when Christians were basically murdered, so you weren't allowed to believe that, but it's kind of interjected in there, and whether you're Christian or not, it doesn't matter. It's just interesting that there's kind of this underground thing going on, and there's the trade with Holland, so that's why that guy shows up. There's a whole bunch of other samurais that show up. Some of them are highly disciplined, some of them are not, some of them pretend that they're not. I mean, it's just, it goes on and on. There's a couple of girl antagonists that are really interesting. Mm-hmm. One that plays did you watch the whole thing?
I did not watch the whole thing, but I did watch a bit of it.
Okay. I guess I'm going on and on and on.
Well, I was just about to say, when RJ reviews something, that it's good because he cannot stop talking about it, which means which means you can rate an entire anime based on how much I say. If I say absolutely nothing, this is a really good anime because RJ can't stop talking about it.
This is one that, I mean, forget about all the other ones that I recommended as far as Shiguri and even Moribito. I think some people might not like this. I think everybody would like this. Even if you're turned off by the hip hop flavor they inject, you can't understand why they would put hip hop kind of thing in there.
Why not?
It works so well. It does not detract from it. I'm not even really a fan of hip hop, and it works really well. I have no problems with it.
Hip hop and you don't stop.
It's a great opening sequence. It's just fun to watch, and it's got a cool little beat. And it's I think it does it better than Afro Samurai. I think it's much better.
I think you're right.
So definitely go check it out.
I mean, Afro Samurai was pretty awesome, but
I can't believe that it was it's 2004, 2006. So it's long ago enough that you guys might not have heard of it, and that's crazy.
How do you not?
That is just crazy because it is a really brilliant show.
Yes, it is, and I think it's on Netflix.
I think it's it's only 50 episodes. It's probably even less than that.
I don't think it's very. It's not much at all, but it is on Netflix, right? I think I remember seeing it there.
Yes, it is.
It's on Netflix.
Fairly newly. It's 26 episodes. It seems longer, but in a good way. There's just so much I remember that comes to mind about this, so that means that every episode must be awesome.
Yeah,
really. So didn't mean to bogart the whole.
No, that's good. I like that.
It
keeps my throat
amazing.
Yes,
very amazing. So I guess that's Samurai Champloo. Is there anything else you need to say? Fu is really cute. She's got this little flying squirrel that comes with her. That's kind of fun.
Flying squirrels are always fun.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of funny that that's an anime tropes. They just kind of they have the little critter, you know, like the little bunny rabbit or the little...
Or the naked mole rat.
Yeah, whatever. Something that's around. Yeah, yeah.
Ron Possible, anyone?
Well, that was Gurren Lagann, right?
Huh?
Gurren Lagann had the little mole rat.
No, I was talking about Kim Possible. Ron Possible had the naked mole rat.
I've never watched that. I was too old for that.
3 words. Naked mole rat.
Okay. So go watch it. It's very good.
Yes.
You won't be disappointed.
Yes, it is. Especially after how much he boasted
Follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.
If you're going to Emerald City Comic Con, please let me know. Please leave us comments.
Yeah, any animes you want to check out? We love new anime. And manga, too. We haven't done a lot of manga, so...
And buy his card game when it comes out at Comic-Con.
More on that later. All right, see you guys.
Bye!
No!
Yes! Yes!
Good job. Rawr.
I am all that is man.
And then some. I'm not sure what that means. Next time, it's Spaceballs.
Did I tell you that I decided to let my hair grow out bushy?
Was like afro bushy?
Well, that's what I'm afraid of. My father had an afro once. For a while. All during the 80s. It was horrible. And I'm hoping that doesn't turn out like that, and I guess they'll have to style it just to make sure it doesn't.
Well, a lot of people argued with my new hairstyle, but I quite like it.
Yeah, it's kind of Kurt Cobainish.
Yeah. Yeah, Kurt Cobain was a, you know... of Nick.
Please don't ask us what we do in our spare time.
On today's film review... Alright, well, what do we do?
Samurai Champloo!
Yay! Yay, I love Samurai Champloo. It's so awesome.
Oh, kitty!
That's all you need to know. On today's Duel review, it's Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, like for top knot?
Makes my hair so silky smooth.
This kind of silky.
Order now and you get a free decapitation.
Can I touch it?
No. Don't touch it. $9.99. Call now. I don't know what you said.
That was good.
Kind of stupid. Can I touch it?
Can I touch it?
Yeah, you might want it now that you're going to go pro.
Why not?
Or go bushy, I'm sorry. Not that bushy's any better. That's kind of the worst. It's a worst term. Just say a tiny fro or a tiny fro? I don't know.
Tiny fro?
Bushy.
Well, I just want to grow my hair out for when Comic-Con hits. I really don't know what I'm going to do with it, so...
I'm going to have hair like an unkempt 60s chick. That's all that conjures when you say bushy.
Really? Bushy? Because I'm thinking more like, you know, Scott Pilgrim or you know...
Oh. That's more like... I don't know what that is. It's not really bushy.
It's bushy.
It's just unkempt.
It's still pretty bushy.
Bushy. Bushy eyebrows. Those are the ones that are like... What's the date?
23rd, and I'm doing it.
Yep.
Welcome to Friday to Thursday. No.
Man Globe. I love that name.
No. I need an adult.
Man Globe.
Alright.